Members of ISIS use some pretty clever tactics on social media in order to recruit people. Now, oftentimes when you hear about social media activity or online activity by members of ISIS, you usually hear about decapitations, beheadings, bloody, gory stuff. But that's usually the stuff that goes viral. What they also do is they use the strategy of luring people in by attempting to look softer and kinder. So the latest example is a photo of an ISIS militant holding a kitten. So look,
was that pre or post executions? Was that before he beheaded a human being or after?
It's amazing. Okay, so let me just say that this was something that was found in the magazine Dabiq.
They have an online magazine. What I'm super curious about is what are the ads inside that magazine? You know, the magazine, they have all these ads. Like, oh, get your machete here for only $19.99 if you act now. Do they have that crazy gorilla you could put in your backyard, the statue of the gorilla that you see it in the airline magazines?
Oh my God, yes, the Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti.
Yes.
I bet they have it in Dabiq magazine.
Yes.
The dudes have a magazine online and we still can't track them. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. So look, I think this is an important story because it brings up how unique ISIS is from other terrorist organizations. Like, you know, there was Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, all of that. But the way that they recruit people using online tactics is incredible, right? Because it's not all blood and gore. That's just the stuff that we focus on. They are a propaganda machine and they convince people, okay, usually very young, impressionable men, and in some cases women as well, that they're good, they're kind, they just want to look out for their fellow Muslims. And, you know, as a result, in an effort to protect their fellow Muslims, they just go ahead and they slaughter a huge number of them, right? But nonetheless, there's the example. And according to the New York Post, apparently while on guard duty, the guy that was featured in that picture wrote a piece titled Contemplate the Creation, in which he said the friendly feline approached him. After considering whether or not I was an aggressive or compassionate soul, the kitten jumped on my lap. Yeah, you're not a compassionate soul, you're garbage. Okay, you are the antithesis of a compassionate soul. You are part of a terrorist organization that goes around murdering innocent people because they're not the right type of Muslim for you. Let
alone all the non-Muslims they slaughter and the Yazidis, and let alone the history of all of humanity that they're destroying in the areas that they control. But a kitten jumped in their lap, so I guess it's all okay. So these guys, everybody's got their own justifications, right? So in the rest of the magazine, they also have images of honeybees, like in that article, and he's like, and how do you think this happened? It actually reminded me of our own insane Christian creationist here. Luckily, they don't kill anybody, but they were like, honeybee, obviously God. This guy goes, honeybee, obviously Allah. Tides go in, tides go out. You can't explain that. Kittens jump on my lap. They jump off my lap. You can't explain that. No, we can. We can explain it. And then in the rest of it, they have like laughing children and hugging jihadists. And then also in the rest of the magazine, though, they have the bloody execution.
Right.
So they have a combination of those things. But some other groups do this, Hamas, Hezbollah, because they actually control the territory. For example, Hamas is nowhere near as bad as ISIS. We consider them a terrorist organization. Obviously, they fire rockets into Israel. They do their own things that are unacceptable, but ISIS is a different level, as everybody knows. But Hamas also runs Gaza, so they also then will teach kids, they'll have hospitals, et cetera, because they have to. Yeah. Hezbollah will do that in southern Lebanon. So it's not like outrageous that these groups that are terrorist organizations will also do other things. It's for Hamas and Hezbollah, it's fairly normal. For these guys, since we all know them and they brag about being the bloodiest, the worst of the worst terrorists and how they're so, you know, kill you and behead you and do all and set you on fire, it's an even starker and more ridiculous contrast. And by the way, there's one other reason why they might be doing it, because I'd read a while back a story about how they lure women in, and so they might be running out of women. And so now they have to show their softer side. Look, women, no, it's okay. You can look at it with the Kiki cat. One of the reasons that women run from there are many obvious reasons, but one of them is that they'll hook them up with a guy like this, and they're like, oh, okay, I have a husband, and then some of them are horrible people, and some of them will actually be decent to their wives at least, and then they'll do a suicide bombing. and 11 months later, they have no husband left because he blew himself to pieces.
Look, I think it's important to understand their recruiting techniques because the way that they get stronger is they recruit more and more people, right? So understand their recruiting techniques, understand, what type of propaganda they use to convince young, impressionable people to join them. And I mean, we always focus on, let's just bomb them, right? And we do that with faulty intel a lot of times, and that usually leads to innocent civilians getting killed, which only helps their recruiting techniques even more. So that's the only reason why I bring this up. It's not this clear-cut thing where it's like, oh, all they do is post, beheadings. No. They are way more clever than people think.
Yeah, and my great frustration is, as always, intelligence. We should be able to have better intelligence on these guys. So when you do the bombings from the sky, oftentimes you'll hit the wrong people. Recently, we killed over 70 people, innocent civilians, in a bombing. Then you turn the local population against us, which is what ISIS wants. If we had better intelligence, we go get al-Baghdadi and some of their other leaders, and then we'll be in much, much better situation. Go find out where they are, do the intelligence work. Okay, but let's end on a fun note, because if you look at the pictures, though, it is a little obvious, at least in this case, that the cat's out of the bag. And I know what you're thinking with ISIS. They're the prick of the litter. Oh or you could be looking at this like as a love litter from ISIS. Or you look at
there's more. There's more. How is there more? Okay.
You look at the picture and think, pussy move.
Thank you.